Hi, my name is Simon Lacey, and I teach International Trade at the School of Economics and Public Policy at the University of Adelaide. Thanks to the organisers, and to Colin Picker in particular, for inviting me to contribute to this very important event. Here, I'm going to talk very briefly about India's digital infrastructure to set the stage for the rest of the session. As you can see, this talk is divided into 5 sections. I'm going to start by discussing the Digital India Initiative before moving on to discuss India's physical infrastructure, the level of digital literacy in the country, and then discuss the policy environment. I will conclude with some thoughts on where to now. So let's get started. Digital India, as many watching today will be more than familiar with, was launched in mid-2015 by Narendra Modi amid much fanfare and was described at the time as by far the most ambitious indigenous program PM Modi has launched. It comprises 9 pillars clustered under 3 core components or layers. The digital foundation layer comprises broadband highways, universal access to mobile connectivity, and public internet access programs. The citizen interface layer comprises e-governance, reforming governance through technology, e-Kranti, electronic delivery of services, information for all, and early harvest programs. Finally, the business facilitation layer comprises electronics manufacturing and IT for jobs. This graphic from the World Bank and using ITU Broadband Commission data shows that after 2015, the period that interests us here, the percentage of the Indian population using the internet has continued its steady rise, with the increase picking up significantly after 2018 to reach 41% at the end of the period for which data is available here, 2019. More recent data suggests that per the third quarter of 2020, the total number of internet subscribers per 100 people stood at close to 60, with this number being around 3 times higher for urban areas than it is for rural. This figure, based on data from the same sources, shows fixed broadband subscriptions following a similar trend over the period 2015 to 2019, albeit with some lost ground between 2016 and 2017 that was quickly regained. This graphic shows a similar trend in terms of the investment being made in secure internet service, peaking at close to 400 per 1 million people at the end of the data collection period. Interestingly, whereas up until 2018, most of the growth had been in mobile internet connectivity, this graph shows mobile subscription numbers tapering off after 2018, presumably as more people were able to avail themselves of fixed-line access. However, the real eye-opener here is that even though in relative terms India has only managed to connect about half of its population to the internet, it is still the country with the second highest number of internet users globally, trailing China by a significant margin, where about 70% of the population are reported to have access to the internet. Moving on to data literacy now, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology defines data literacy as the ability of individuals and communities to understand and use digital technologies for meaningful actions within life situations. Any individual who can operate computer, laptop, tablet, smartphone, and use other IT-related tools is being considered as digitally literate. This graphic, which comes care of the economics and policy portal Ideas for India, shows the acute disparities in digital literacy that persists between rural and urban India when it comes to digital literacy, although this is a trend that is consistent across other middle-income developing countries, albeit perhaps not as acutely as in India. The policy environment in India is obviously working, since we're seeing improvements across a range of metrics, although progress has been unsteady, which could indicate that improvements could be made to the current policy environment. Here are just 10 of the grievances listed by the global technology industry when it comes to operating in the Indian market. Of course, as we've seen, India is a huge market, and all the big global technology companies positioned themselves in India a long time ago. However, restrictive measures impose a cost not only on foreign technology providers and operators, but also domestic companies and users. Finally, some parting thoughts on where to now. Number 1, continue investment in infrastructure, continue raising digital literacy rates, and moving as much of the economy online as possible. Number 2, consider the impact on innovation of restrictive trade and investment measures before hastily enacting disruptive new policies. And 3, take a holistic approach to the policy interventions that are required to connect with digital value chains in areas such as infrastructure, technology, education, skills, access to capital, attracting and retaining foreign investment, and foreign talent. That's all from me for today. Thanks for listening, and I'll be happy to take questions in the panel. Thank you.